窓から覗き込んだ下界を駆け抜ける勇者よ。何が好きか嫌いか互いの情入念。
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 108 of the Anime Degens podcast with the Sick Boys and Nam. How you guys doing?
Well, not good. As you can tell, my voice is about shot. So hopefully I can make it through this episode because it should be a fun time. Hopefully Nam and Dan can carry me. So
I'm doing a lot better than both of you are, it appears. No coughing over here or anything like that. At least no involuntary coughing. Yeah, no, I went to work. We got a bunch of magic cards in today finally, so that was exciting.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay,
good day at work.
Hell
Pokemon
yeah.
too.
No Pokemon, just magic.
Okay,
We don't need fights breaking out.
True. Well, cool. Before we get into the news, make sure you rate the podcast. That's all I got. What do you guys got for some news today?
The first bit of news we got. Pretty excited about it. Honestly, I know a lot of other people are too. Bocchi the Rock season 2 has been announced. No dates yet, but this has been a little while coming. I think the Bocchi aired in 2022 in fall, so it's been a few years. I'm just glad we're finally get a second season. So Bocchi fans unite!
Awesome. We kind of alluded to this during the last episode,
Rundown.
but there we go. Free Run's coming to the Netflix in the US, Canada, and other places. Can't tell you where, but other places on March 1st. So if you haven't watched Free Run yet and you don't have Crunchyroll, now is the time to dive on into the best fantasy anime in a long, long time.
Yeah, you should definitely watch it, Nam.
I've gotten halfway through it, all right? You know what you need to finish watching? MF Ghost.
Oh, I thought you
So
said
that way you
Gurren
can watch
Lagann.
season 3 when MF Ghost season 3 launches in 2026.
I got a whole year, Nam. It's fine.
Well, you got to
Dude,
finish.
not at the rate that you watch shows.
Bro, I've been
How long have you
binging.
been watching Dragon Ball?
Dude, he's been on the last 5 episodes of Dragon Ball for 2 years.
One day I will finish it. And we will celebrate with pizza, boys.
Literally, he is. Yeah. Corporate America, we're having a pizza party.
That'll keep us happy.
Tyler has been on the cusp of finishing Dragon Ball for longer than I have freaking been married at this point, I'm pretty sure. Longer than I've known Tyler.
It's been a while, huh?
Longer than he's watched anime at this point.
Yeah, I started when I was a young kid. I watched maybe 5 episodes a year. So
Weak.
no, not a Dragon Ball. That'd be ridiculous. Who's next? Is it Nam?
No,
No,
it's you.
Oh, it's me. Y'all done talked about MF Ghost?
We said it was coming.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said you need to finish watching it.
Oh, true. Anyways, another anime that got was announced. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. Some of y'all know this is like the Green Yuri on social media. It's finally getting an anime, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Okay. Sounds
I thought
exciting.
that whole thing was the title.
I thought,
pretty
yeah,
popular.
no, I thought the title was the guy she wasn't interested in wasn't a guy at all, aka Green Yuri.
No, so
I thought that was the title.
No,
You can't put that in there and expect us to realize what you're saying, Tyler. You need to put that in like parentheses, a personal note.
What it goes by on like Twitter and stuff like that is the Green Yuri, because like it's
There's
got a lot of
character
green
named
involved
Yuri,
in it.
and
No,
they're
Yuri
green.
is girls love.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's like the green Yuri because like
So
it stood out because like some of the like it uses like green a lot. So
okay, I figured out the plot. So basically, you're telling me that the guy
the
she
plot
wasn't
is the
interested.
freaking in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
title.
It's great, but it wasn't that it wasn't a guy and it was a girl. It was actually the Green Goblin,
That's what I'm
I'm
picking
pretty
up
sure
too.
they're
and it's
probably
a girls love
prettier.
anime about the Green Goblin.
I'm pretty sure
I'm fired
they're
up. I'm
prettier
in,
than a Green Goblin, probably.
bro. No, I'm talking the Green Goblin from Spider Man.
I don't remember that.
Look,
What?
if they don't
Oh,
have Miles Morales, I'm out.
on to the next piece of news. We got Fire Force, the final season. First cower dropping April 4th. Very excited for that. And then the second cower is going to be in January of next year. Feels weird to say 2026.
It does.
Womp. Well, in other news, something else that's also releasing pretty soon. Gundam GQUX is dropping on April 8th.
I have no idea how to pronounce that. All I know is that it's like underground, like dogfighting with Gundams, and I'm here for it.
I wonder if it's like gooey, you know.
I think it is. I don't fucking know. Gooks. G Gooks.
Oh, it should be pronounced as GQ Akusu.
Oh, that's not as fun as what Nam
GQ
said.
Akusu.
That's not as fun as what Nam said.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
you're
To me,
wrong.
it's GQUX.
It's like duel, but X.
Since Nom loves saying long words like this, we should just watch the 100 Girlfriends so he could just repeat the title.
No, we're not doing that. I watched 5 episodes. We're done.
Dan is vetoing it already.
I did my time.
100 Girlfriends. You haven't watched that shit, bro.
I thought I did. That really, 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 really like you. Oh
No,
no,
you
you made
didn't
me
watch
watch
that.
Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah, Rent a Girl.
Same
100
shit.
Girlfriends is peak.
Same shit. Different day.
They even got like a mom on there, so you'd
What's
be down
up?
for that.
Yeah, but I would just skip to the mom, and then I would skip to the mom, and then I would skip to the mom, and I'd be done.
Done in what sense, Dan?
Oh,
Well,
you
cool.
know.
You guys ready to get into our topic?
Yeah.
Well, somebody once told me the world was gonna roll Luffy. He ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. We're looking at All Stars, baby. We are looking at the One Piece MVPs outside of our stretchy MC because he's always the MVP. So we're looking into the other characters we think deserve MVP from both the good guys and the bad guys. And we each picked an arc or two, depending on how Tyler is feeling to dive into.
Yeah.
So, Nam, you want to get us started?
Yeah, sure. My first arc is going to be Ennie's Lobby. Ennie's Lobby was a very, very significant arc. It took place right around Water 7. It signified a few very, very key things. One, it introduced Cypher Pole. Everyone already hates the CPs, whether it's 0 through 5. This time we got introduced to 5, which featured who, in my opinion, was definitely the MVP of this arc, Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci came in so unassuming, so undercover through Water 7, and then to be revealed to be this big bad guy who also had the fruit that turned him into a leopard and had such mastery over it.
Okay, I got to ask a question. Is this your overall MVP or is this your antagonist MVP?
Yeah, I was
Antagonist
confused.
MVP.
Okay.
Okay, I was like, bro, there is a correct answer and you missed.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, the correct answer is going to be Usopp.
Who?
No.
Sorry. Sniper King.
Yes, the man with his own theme song, which I hope Nam is going to sing for us. Dude, it's in your heart. Sniper Island is in your heart.
I can't remember the exact lyrics right now, so we'll circle back to that, and I'll probably do it before I do my next arc.
We'll just put it in the
Um,
Discord.
I like that you started with the villain MVP first though, because that kind of threw me for a loop. Like
I
I didn't know for sure. So
I was
I
like,
did mention antagonist MVP.
I didn't hear
I
that.
did
So
state that part.
okay, I didn't hear that part. I
I
was like,
think
I'm
you like
90% sure I did. No, but
he
anyways.
just said he was like, fuck Robin, fuck the Straw Hats,
Whoa,
Luffy's a
whoa, whoa.
goat.
you know, speaking
Fuck
of
you,
Robin,
fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm no.
speaking of Robin, I got her as my villain MVP. Honestly, she's the antagonist MVP for me.
I
Be-
mean, I can't really
because
classify her as an antagonist at this point.
He
well,
was just very sad.
if you think about it this way, like mostly all of like the things that happened in Enya's lobby, it could have been avoided if she would have just believed in Luffy and
Got her head out of her ass.
yeah, and not been like, oh well, they don't care about me, like forget your past trauma. Luffy, you're here for, you know what I mean?
Bro,
I,
forget your past trauma to a girl who went through what Robin went through is one of the most fucking disrespectful statements I've ever heard in my life.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Like she should have more faith in Luffy and company, instead of like just going along with, whatever they wanted her to
well,
do with the blackmail. You know what I mean? Like, because all of it could
and
have been avoided. So,
here's my counter argument to this whole situation, right? To your dilemma. Up to this point, Robin has had no reason to actually believe Luffy would go to those lengths. Then that situation presents itself, and she has a way of actually being able to protect them. She's gonna take that because she doesn't know the lengths that Luffy and Sniper King would go to.
Yeah,
I
none of those
mean,
He came
guys
from
really mattered,
Sniper Island,
you're not
far
wrong.
away.
You're not wrong. I'm just saying if Robin would have even just went to the crew and been like, "Hey, this is what's going on," then maybe all this stuff wouldn't have happened. So, you
Oh,
know,
by the way, I'm a demon child.
I
Uh,
don't think they would care.
I'm not trying to say that you're not right about that, but I'm also not trying to agree with the fact that you're labeling her as an antagonist at this point because she didn't do it with malicious intent towards the straw.
No, no, I'm not
And on
saying
top
that.
of that,
So,
and on top of that, she did nothing to try and cause harm to the straw hats. She was just leaving, and based around prior experiences, that's perfectly normal. Who cares if
y-
you leave?
yeah, I mean, I guess she doesn't know, like you said, she doesn't know what extents that they took for to get Nami back. You know what I mean? So, um,
Exactly. When Luffy decided to go back after Robin, that's when Cypher Pole and that stupid bandaged face Spondum decided to attack. Dumb move on their part, by the way. Spoilers. 15-year spoiler, guys.
Hey,
um
shout out Funk Freed though.
that sword is the coolest part of Spondum.
Bro ate
Um
an elephant.
But no, so he when they decided to attack, they willingly became antagonists because their goal was to stop them. Robin's goal wasn't to try and stop them. Robin's goal was to try and protect them. So if anything, she's still a protagonist at that point, just in a different way. If anything, maybe like an anti-hero, right? Like a Deadpool, but without the fourth wall breaking. And not
like
as
that
funny.
like that Taylor Swift song Anti-Hero. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Can't believe we brought up Taylor Swift, bro. I thought we was better than that.
Football season's over. I'm not as annoyed with her now. It's fine.
No, we can bring her into anime.
But yeah, for my MVP, it's gonna be Soga King, Sniper King. He was clear MVP of this arc. I thought, outside of Luffy, of course. So
Yeah, it's a shame Usopp wasn't around in this arc, you know? Like, that was tough.
we
Not seeing
barely
your boy
missed
around like
him.
that.
We barely
Hey,
missed him. So
no, we missed him a lot. I mean, that was a heartbreaking fight that him and Luffy had in Water 7, and then just to disappear like that.
you know, the Luffy Usopp fight is like one of my favorite one of my top fights of One Piece, honestly. Just because like, the emotion behind it. And I swear if Usopp fought like he did against Luffy in every arc after that point, they wouldn't have much trouble with anybody. I ain't gonna lie.
You're exaggerating
No, like
at a
that's
level of
up there.
at an Usopp story time caliber level right there, dude.
All I'm saying is Usopp went crazy against Luffy. I know Luffy wasn't trying, as hard as he should have been, but still, like Usopp on that level, instead of being a little bitch, Usopp would be crazy strong. So
Yeah, but Usopp was never always about his power. It was always about his intellect, his tactics, right? What really elevated that fight too was the fact that Usopp knew everything about Luffy. They'd been traveling together since he got the Going Merry.
mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, my second MVP, because I am
Oh,
going to put two MVPs.
facts.
Yeah.
That
uh,
fucking boat, dude.
Going Merry, goddamn, still tear up every time I watch that episode.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to cry tonight, man. Come on.
Fuck.
You got us crying in the club over a damn shit, bro.
It was
Shit.
one of the most emotional scenes though that the series. I mean, you went from Robin to Going Merry in the same arc.
Yeah.
What more do you want out of us, One Piece?
And like
And
yeah.
one of the most fire intros we've had for One Piece was that arc too.
Oh yeah.
What
You
is
don't
it?
skip that one.
Kizaru.
I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know how it goes. I don't know the name of it.
Still today, that's our most popular TikTok, and it gets like 50 likes a day on
Dude, that thing's
average.
not going anywhere. We're never topping that. It has like 1 million views.
Like I wish I could turn off notifications for it, because I literally get 50 likes or plus likes a day and follows and like reposts and shit off that post alone. So that's how good the Water 7 OP was, bro.
Hell
Couldn't
No,
beat
yeah.
that shit.
it was a bang. I mean, to be fair, most of the One Piece OPs are bangers.
Yeah.
There's only one that I still hold above all others.
Well, we are.
Believe.
Oh.
Yep.
Um. I guess. Since you already said Mary, uh, I thought Frankie was, pretty high up there too. Even though he wasn't like an official Straw Hat at the time, he still like put his life on the line for Robin and the crew. Like he was true Straw Hat mentality, honestly.
He was hard boiled, that's for sure.
Yeah. I loved Frankie and Enos Lobby, so
No, Enies Lobby was definitely a great arc. Um, one of my favorites, just because of again how much impact, how much emotion that it really brought to the series. I mean, you get past Nami, and you want to keep watching. You get to this point, and you're hooked.
100%.
I think Enos Lobby and Water 7 and stuff, I think that's when I always tell people this is when like One Piece gets serious, when it takes off its training wheels, because everything after this, is just like, you haven't seen it yet. Like the stakes that is on the line after that point. So
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Um, that's really about it though for Annie's Lobby.
Sweet. How do you guys want to do this? Oh, go for it, Tyler.
we didn't mention Soga King shooting the flag down. That's one of the most iconic moments of One Piece. I just want to bring that up. So, and
Oh
like
yeah.
one of the hardest poses, of the Straw Hats was them just standing on the rooftop looking scary as shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Gangster shit.
Yeah. So
I recently sent Tyler this really cool like Kendrick Lamar like One Piece edit,
oh yeah,
and it was all that new lobby. It was gas.
it was.
It got me pretty fired up.
What was you saying, Dan?
I was gonna say, do we want to do this in the order of the arcs? Because then we can like kind of go through the story in kind of way that makes sense, or do you just want to go through like we normally do?
Which one's next then?
Next would be Impel
You?
Down, which would be me.
Then you would have
I,
two back to back, right?
that's fine. I'll be done talking after that. I can let my throat rest.
Okay, let's do it like that. And then after that, I think I'm
It'd be
next,
you.
right? I'm last. So
Oh
well,
No, it'd
yeah,
be
Nom's
you
last.
next.
Nom's last.
and
I'm
not
last.
So
last. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that
All
that,
right,
that works.
all right, cool. Well, I got back-to-back arcs because I didn't realize that until I thought of that idea and went, "Oh shit, too late now." So my first arc I got is Impel Down, and my MVP is of course Bon Clay. The OG realist in this arc, like Bon Clay, is a stud. You watch this arc and he's just the man making it happen. You know, he rescued Luffy multiple times, like carrying his nearly limp dead body to Ivankov, like protecting him from wolves and shit. That was OG shit right there. That was awesome.
Luffy protected him down there as wolves too, though.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that was. I'm mixing
Didn't
it
he
up.
like use didn't he like use some conch hockey at the time or
Kinda.
something?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think
I
he
just
like
remember Bon Clay was the man.
yeah, it was awesome though. Bon
I
Clay,
think
Bon Clay is definitely MVP. So
I think that was around the time when Luffy was just starting to get Conqueror's Hockey himself.
he didn't really know how to use it. He just like you know,
He
when
kind of
he like
flashed it before when
yeah,
they were at Fishman Island.
yeah, Fishman Island, Enos Lobby, I mean Impel Down. So he just didn't
Yeah.
know how to control it and like force it out, I guess. It just happened when he was so emotional or whatever. So
Yep.
Yeah. No, Bon Clay is my guy. I mean, he helped everyone break out. All the prisoners who went on to fight in Marineford, that was Bon Clay's doing. And he sacrificed himself at the end, which was really a heartbreaking moment for me. I fell in love with Bon Clay in this arc. He's a total bro. No matter how much his tutus are not bro like, Bon Clay's a fucking bro.
They really portrayed him as though like he was gonna actually become a member of the crew too here, which at the time I was actually really excited for because he's a very interesting character. He fits in well with the crew. His power would be very useful for them, but at the same time, like just the way how he carries himself and stuff like that, he's definitely not meant necessarily for like being just part of the crew, right? And the way how he also really cared for Luffy really showed that, like, honestly, it's probably best that he didn't join them. He's probably gonna join like the fleet, right? If he hasn't
Hell yeah.
already, like he's most definitely going to. But just the way how he really also cared for Luffy with everything, not only just all of that, but then at the end too, helping him escape by pretending to be various guards and stuff like that or whatnot, and then tricking them. I mean,
MVP caliber
truly,
shit, bro.
truly genius plays there by Bon Clay as well.
You know, I thought he was actually dead for the longest time. Did you know he's not dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I guess I don't think they showed it in the anime, but apparently during my research today, he was like on a cover
Yep.
story or whatever. Um, so I don't think they showed it in the anime though, did they?
No, you gotta the One Piece manga covers have a lot of storytelling in them.
Yeah. I
And
want to go through one day and like we should actually do that sometime, y'all. We should actually like go
mm,
through and like
the hidden
do
stories of One Piece covers, so I can talk about how Enel's on the moon with a bunch of fucking crazy little tiny toy monster things.
yeah, we should do like we should split it up into like segments or whatever and do like one through whatever and just talk about the cover arcs, the cover stories. So because it's
I
like their
mean,
own little
there's a
thing,
lot of
right?
them that aren't actually stories. They're just kind of like flashbacks, but we can find the best stories to tell.
Yeah, we could do something with that probably because being an anime only watcher until I got caught up in I think it was like beginning of Wano when I got caught up, maybe the end of Whole Cake. I'm not sure. But when I started reading the manga, um, I didn't go back to the beginning, so I literally didn't know that Bon Clay was alive. I thought he sacrificed himself and was dead, bro.
Nah, he kicking. He's chilling
Yeah,
in level what was it?
5.5.
5.5, yeah.
Yeah. He's the leader of some kind of bullshit singing club or some shit.
Is that what we're calling it these days? I'm glad we're staying
Well,
appropriate.
let me look. Let me look. The new queen of New Kama Land. So
There you go.
yeah.
Well, that brings me to my antagonist MVP for this arc, and without a doubt, that's Magellan. That man is a menace. His devil fruit is vile and impossible to counter. Like he had Luffy beat. He's the big dog on campus down there, and it was a pure stroke of luck and Bon Clay getting everybody out of there. So Magellan is he's a big dog on campus. That guy is freaking cracked.
Oh yeah. When you only have like 4 or 5 people uh guarding all these big baddies, they have to be cracked. You got Magellan, you had that bondage chick, whatever the hell she was. Remember
What's
her?
up? Oh yeah. And then you
Yeah,
had the was that the arc where we first saw awakened Zoans and they were just like mindless animals? Yeah, they were the guards down there.
I think so. Yeah, but it was pretty interesting. I think I would have him as my MVP too. I think like honorable mentions would probably be Ivankov because without Ivankov, you
Luffy's
know,
dead.
yeah, Luffy's dead. He probably
And
wouldn't have a
you know,
mom.
Crocodile's a chick, so
Like a lot of things that wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Ivankov. So
oh
gotta shout
definitely
out
would.
Oda too, because this is one of the first times that Oda, showed us that just because the Straw Hats wasn't there, it didn't mean it wasn't a good arc.
Yeah.
So
And speaking of
only
that,
certain mangakas can do that, and Oda can do that, baby.
we'll get into another arc
Yeah.
without a lot of the straw hats here. And that's Marineford. And can I get much higher? So high. But no, for my MVP, I got Whitebeard. He like fucking carried that battle, dude. He was a menace. He was an absolute monster. Like, homie's dying, he's injured, and he's still taking on a massive army of Marines, including like not just the cannon fodder. We've got admirals, vice admirals, warlords, and the Gurugura no Mi just fucking tore this place up. It was awesome. I mean, they basically sunk the whole island.
He didn't
And
even move.
no, he
Yeah,
just
he
stood
just
in one
stood
spot.
there. Yeah. I was reading. I don't know if this is true or not, boys. But I was reading about this. Did you know that when he died, obviously he died standing up, but he took 267 sword wounds, 152 bullets, and 46 cannonballs, a laser beam through the chest, and a magma fist to the face to kill him.
Yeah.
That's insane, bro. And he was like on freaking life support, bro, before he went into this battle. He was on
Yeah,
oxygen
Yeah.
and shit.
yeah.
So
Whitebeard's a legend. And like I think the craziest thing was it too is that like throughout this entire battle he didn't only kick ass, he was defending his crew the entire time, even when Squad betrayed him, and like he never let his crew feel abandoned, and that is the true sign of a captain. And Whitebeard was the fucking man.
who you got now?
100%. And aside from, one particular person, Whitebeard also was a great judge of character. He was able to find a lot of not only very, very respectable people, but some people that are also just absolutely fucking savage. I mean, look, Marco, for instance, right? Knowing what he does later on in the series, and then being able to see, kind of just what he kind of can do back then too, it was amazing. And then, you carry on, and we're going to talk about someone else who I really hate this part. Um,
Yeah.
Ace, he took in Ace. He let Ace eat that fruit, flame fruit, and so it just really speaks volumes too that Whitebeard was able to find such great people that he didn't even really need to step away from his ship during that whole fight.
No,
Just rock solid standing there.
the man was a pillar of excellence. Wait, literally a pillar. He did not fall.
Only the only tarnet like the only like bad spot on his name has to be like Blackbeard, right? And that's
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, you know, you can't get them all. You know what I mean? There's always that one that ends up fooling you. So,
Yeah, I
um,
mean Blackbeard was playing the long game the entire time too, so
yeah, true. I think that Shanks should be mentioned as well for up there. I don't think he deserves it over Wybeard, but Shanks,
Stop
uh,
Kaido from joining the battle.
like the dude literally just like rolled in at the last minute and basically made everyone go sit in timeout in their corners and think about their actions like they was kids, and everybody just did it. It was like, if y'all gonna keep on fighting, you gotta fight me too. And everybody's just like, hold up,
nope.
wait a
Nope.
Wait a
minute.
minute.
And they just stopped. Everybody just stopped. So, which was kind of cool because like, why is everybody so scared of Shanks? So, but I mean, they wasn't even scared of Whitebeard like that. So, and they were scared of Shanks. So it was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah. Yeah, Shanks just doesn't hit the same in the art because he's not there the whole time, you know? I mean,
He showed
No.
up for like, two scenes, finished the
and then he
war.
and then he went away for another 70, you know, that's what he does.
Yeah.
For my antagonist MVP, we got Akainu. We all know why. You know, he
Yeah.
he did some pretty big things for the story there, and they really affected Luffy.
A
Fucking
lot. They affected a lot of
hey.
people.
I want to do what he did to him.
You want to turn him into a donut?
Yes.
You want to give him the old Rengoku?
I do.
Let's just spoil a different anime instead of One Piece. Fuck it, right? Um, and then I've added another character category for this one, and it's the least valuable player, and that's Garp because he's a fucking pussy in this arc, and that shit pissed me off. So Garp lost so much fucking respect from me during this arc, and I just needed a vent.
Yeah. I don't know, like Garp, like so the thing that always confused me about Garp, right, is that he chose to stand by, or whatever for almost all of it. And then after, you know, the strike hit Ace or whatever, that's when he decided to lose his shit and go berserk. Like, what did you think was gonna happen, bro? Like, why are you trying to fight them now? After, he's falling over, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. But I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, it's just anger and rage taking over at that point, you know?
yeah. I mean, things could
Nothing
have.
else to it.
I don't know. I don't think that he could. Uh, so the only thing that I can think of, the reason why he did it, the only thing I can think of was he wanted to show Luffy that he wasn't the big dog and that he had to wake up. And I think that's one of the reasons why he did it, because he didn't want to see Luffy there too. And I feel like that he thought that Ace was gonna get saved by Wybeard, you know,
No,
and he was showing Luffy like, hey man, you ain't the big dog here. Like, this is what's gonna happen to you if you keep on going down the path you're going. You know what I mean?
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I really think it was just an internal battle of his version of justice, you know? I mean, he's a Marine. He's supposed to protect people, but pirates are bad and Marines are good. That's how he thinks. And um
He's
I
at a
think he was
crossroads because it's family. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like a combination of like both things though, you know what I mean?
I think he
'Cause
was just
he's
more pissed off that Luffy was there, but I don't think that it had anything like there was no motivation for him to not jump in sooner because he had no knowledge of Luffy before that, right? He finds out Luffy is part of Marineford at Marineford. And at any point, Garp could have literally gotten Ace saved if he wanted to.
yeah, I don't know. I wish that Oda would like kind of give us the rundown, like maybe on his thoughts during that, at some point in time, maybe a flashback or something, But I just don't know if we're gonna get that or not. That'd be really cool if we did though. Kind of what was going through his mind, you know what I mean? Um, I think Kobe stood out a lot too, for like the antagonist. Because I mean he basically stood up to Aki Inu, like about what his version of justice was, and like he
Well,
was prepared to die, right? So
that wouldn't make him an antagonist, though.
I mean, technically in this situation he is though, right? Like he's
Is
a
he?
pirate. I
He's
mean,
like
Is
a
no,
he
he's
weird
doing?
a marine.
moral.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is he doing it to harm the Straw Hats at this point, though? Because he was
No,
standing up
but
to Akainu,
yeah, but
which means
he's still
he
technically
knew.
a villain. You know what I mean? Even though he's not like
I don't know.
he
I'd
was
say that
still he was still fight. He tried to fight Luffy. Like
well,
he
yeah,
tried to fight Luffy, and he got shit on, but he tried to fight Luffy. So like he was a villain in this arc. You know what I mean? He wasn't on the Straw Hat side. He was on Justice side.
yeah. I mean, he's not gonna just switch sides like that. He finally got his lifelong dream of being a Marine.
Yeah.
He still wants to fight Luffy, but that doesn't mean that he was, necessarily a villain. I mean, standing up to Akainu, I would say that's more protagonist energy right there.
I mean, it's split, like up until that moment, it was he was definitely the antagonist. He was a antagonist, but he definitely helped Luffy escape though by standing up to Aki Inu. So I felt like shout out to Law too, coming and getting Luffy. So
You
All right,
fucking
you're
shout out to Jinbei 3.
it
The whole arc is full of fucking MVPs. Let's put it that way.
yeah, actually it
really
is.
was.
It's one
The
of the
But
only
best
one
arcs of
that
One
I
Piece, so
hated besides Fire Dude was Blackbeard. Blackbeard, man.
some scummy shit at the end there, yeah.
Yeah. That's some crazy shit.
as Blackbeard does, though, that's
Hmm.
the
And
crazy part.
it's the crazy thing too with that is like we hate Akainu for what he did to Ace, but Blackbeard taking the Gurugura Nomi has 100 times more impact on the actual story, which is nuts to think about.
Yeah, because I mean, not only is he like the first person with double, you know, devil fruits now, he's got two of the most broken devil fruits on top of that. So, and
Yeah.
apparently, and I think that he's trying to add more to it or something. So I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely he's definitely one that Whitebeard should have dealt with. It's funny too, like Whitebeard versus Blackbeard. Like who would have? Shout out Oda for that shit. There anything else to talk about? Marineford.
Yeah, there's a lot more, but we should move on so we don't spend 3
Yeah.
hours on it.
Am I next?
Yeah,
Yep.
you are. Go
Maybe
for it.
you.
Well, I'm not gonna really like talk about how we got to Dressrosa or what happens to Dressrosa really a lot, unless one of the boys wants to do it. But basically this was after Thriller Bark, right? They they found out that Doflamingo was like making the smile fruits, I believe it was, and Luffy and them went to see what's up. Basically, I think my MVP of this arc was definitely Lucy. I know we said we couldn't do Luffy, but this ain't Luffy. This is Lucy. So
I mean, you can have your loophole. I'm not feeling well enough to argue with you here.
I'm glad. But for real, outside of Luffy, like I said, I think it was God Usopp. I think Usopp was a very big part of this arc, and like he defeated Sugar in his own way, which was basically the top dog of Doflamingo's army, basically, right? Like she was the one that was controlling all the toys and like, changing everyone. And God Usopp did that. So tell me who else on the Straw Hats done more than God Usopp at that time? Not Zoro. Zoro was all playing his own little game somewhere.
He was fighting
He
Pikachu,
lost.
dude.
It was God Usopp. So what y'all think about that? Y'all agree?
At least it's not a straw hat. Well, it doesn't matter. I didn't say any straw hats. I don't know. I think Sabo's got to be somewhere up there too.
Okay.
Sabo would
Yeah.
probably be my pick.
Not because he actually like. I mean, he did some stuff, but like the fact that after we just talked about Marineford and the terrible things, like Sabo was able to secure
Yeah.
the flame through cement himself as the
Bless
next
you.
thank you, next carrier of Ace's legacy and all that other cool shit. And it was just good to see the man back in action.
Yeah, and this was like I think if I remember correctly, this was legit our first time meeting Sabo. Like he just showed up out of nowhere and was like, "Hey man, I'm Luffy's
So
brother."
so this is the first time that we're getting to see him without it being a flashback and they were kids.
Yeah.
Because we had been introduced to Sabo just before this, but then they actually got into the episode where we got to see it all play out.
Yeah,
And that's
this
where we got to
arc,
see.
this arc was like the first time we ever like learned of Sabo. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
uh before that we didn't know he existed.
Yeah.
True.
And I mean, honestly, Sabo was definitely, in my opinion, the MVP. Just more
I
so than anyone else, because he did do a lot for what he was there for. And then on top of that, too, he gave Luffy that kind of reassurance that he really needed after everything that had just happened, too.
have a new category I'd like to add for this one.
Hmm?
Most likely to take L's but still be a valuable player in the end, and that is Trafalgar Law. He was the brains behind this whole operation. I mean, he fucking had to go at it. He was fighting Dofi and Fujitora at the same time, and he took a lot of L's, but he still fought through to the bitter end. I mean, this arc had it was like Law's arc. You know, we had the whole Corazon thing.
Yeah.
But homie still took a lot of L's, which is a shame.
Yeah, I got him as like my honorable mention. As I'm a big Law fan, but I do think that like he let the anger like cloud his judgment at times during this arc, and I think that he would have put up a better fight if he would have like was thinking right, because like you said, his brains is his biggest thing about him. So and he was kind of going off half cocked at Doflamingo because of their history. So, um,
Yeah. I
but
mean,
yeah,
going back to the real MVP, do you guys know what Usopp's bounty jumped up after this arc?
it was a lot.
30 million to 200 million.
It's funny too. Y'all know that like Law had, Doflamingo had his own bounty system, in the country, and God Usopp was 5 stars, and Luffy and Law was 3, and Zoro was 2. I think Sabo was like 3 or 4. So, you know, 5 stars for Usopp, given out by Doflamingo himself. So that's insane.
Respect.
Yeah, God Usopp. I
I,
think
I
the
He
only other
realizes how dangerous it is to go against a god.
yeah. Uh they I think the little fairy people or whatever was
the
calling him like
Tontadas.
Usaland or whatever.
Usaland, yeah.
Remember that shit? This is a peak arc. If it didn't like if it
Drag
wasn't
on
so
for
slow,
300 episodes.
yeah. If it
It's
wasn't
not that
so
long, but it's
slow,
so
this would have
slow.
been a peak arc. So this is one of my favorite arcs because Doflamingo, he's like a top character, top villain.
Why?
So
So why didn't they give this arc the Fishman Island remaster
I think the
vibes?
why they did it was because they followed up One Piece fan letter
Ah,
with the
oh,
remake. You know what I mean?
yeah, okay.
I think that's what they did. Honestly,
I do, I do got to call out one more person from Dressrosa, and it's the man who carried a fucking rebellion on his back, hopping around on one leg. That's
yeah,
Kiros.
yeah,
He was kind of a badass in this arc.
he was.
Oh, 100%. Honestly, he was probably like one of the most, I guess, underappreciated characters just because he knew so much of who he was, everything that he was capable of doing, even while still as a toy. I mean, without him, they would have been screwed.
Yeah, and like I said, shout out Usopp for bringing him back to life, or whatever, making him more useful, other than his knowledge. So, um, I think on the villain side of things, outside of like Sugar, like Doflamingo and Sugar, uh, probably like Fujitora. I really thought he was like up there in like the MVP category, even though he wasn't fighting for Doflamingo. He was actually fighting against Doflamingo at times too. So like he was fighting against both of them, both Luffy and Straw Hats and Doflamingo. He was fighting for justice. Kind of like what he reminds me of like what Kobe is trying to be. So I
Yeah,
really I really enjoy him.
yeah, I really look at Fujitora as he's kind of like a really gray area for the Marines. Like I don't think he's on board with Akainu's plan. I kind of think
Hmm.
he's there for some ulterior motives we don't know yet.
100%.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And he likes to gamble, so fuck yeah.
He likes to gamble. I think that's when him and Luffy met the first time, right? He was gambling or whatever. So I mean, dude can't see he's blind, and he's that like goaded. So it's crazy. Um, other than all that, like I don't know. I don't think I have anybody else I want to mention, honestly. Other than what I've already mentioned. I know that like Sanji was like AFK for most time chasing Biola, trying to leave again. or
Respect that
whatever.
though.
Yeah, Viola was a baddie. So also Dressrosa, I think was one of my favorite costume outfit uh designs too. I really enjoyed it. So um anybody else y'all want to mention besides Bardo? We gotta shout out Bardo when we can.
Fuck Bardo and his
No, we don't.
stupid filler episodes.
You know, he's the one that
Bardo's
stopped the
secret
birdcage
room.
from
Fuck
closing, bro.
Bardo's secret room, dude.
He's the
Nah,
one that
dude, Bardo.
stopped Bardo. He's the one that stopped the birdcage, bro. With his
I don't give a fuck. He's got a secret room and it
hair.
pisses me off.
Little do you know, next Degen episode is going to be sponsored by Bardo's secret room.
I'm glad I'm not on that week.
It'll be postponed until you're back.
It's gonna be a pretty fucking long hiatus.
We'll get a little Bardo too in the bottom left corner.
Dave says just announce his retirement
Well,
right
guys,
now.
I'm done. So, good luck. Good luck finding another host.
All right. Anything else?
You're gonna have
go
Barto
for
as a
it.
host, so it's fine.
Go for it. If y'all got anything else, if not, then do your thing, Nom.
Speaking of Barto, the episodes where we do get his secret room happen in this next arc. Wano. Wano was separated into 3 parts specifically. I want to focus more on part 3. Part 3 was huge. I mean, there was so much that happened. It was the big climactic finale of them trying to liberate the island, going through recruiting allies, getting to the island and everything, now actually carrying out the assault. And this is where, for my MVP, it's the Straw Hats. Every single one of them stepped up in major ways, aside from Nami and Usopp, but they combine as a team, right? The two of them together.
Are we only talking about like the last half you said?
The last third, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you said Nami. I agree with Usopp, but Nami, she stood up to Big Mom. She fought Big Mom basically by herself pretty much. Well, not by herself. I don't know who was with her, but she was fighting Big Mom at one point. And she also, when Kaido came down and announced that Luffy died, she stood up for Luffy. And she was like, I don't believe you. And she like gained the momentum back kinda. So
Well, again,
that's
why I'm combining Nami and Usopp together, though, because they did also have a lot of adventures together. And while they did manage to take down a couple people, it was always a group effort between the two of them.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just saying Nami stood up to 2 Emperor of the Seas when she ain't shit usually. So I gotta give her her
yeah,
credit.
that's fair. But then you had Chopper too. Chopper really showed
Oh
up, not
yeah.
only with just his combat, but the ability to practice medicine on the fly and then even teach 2 new people what he's doing while doing it himself. Um, and just overall, like, how everyone else was carrying themselves. I mean, this is where we finally got Kaido to actually join up and be a part of the crew, and he's doing stuff, or not Kaido.
I was gonna say, what the hell are
What's
you
it?
talking
Jinbei.
about? Yeah,
Jinbei finally joins up. And he plays a huge part too, especially as like the castle's burning. Then you also have Zoro, which we also got that banger fight against King.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, and even Sanji, right, where he starts getting his suit transformation, and it's like taking effect of him.
Yeah, and he
But
had like an
he's
internal battle or whatever. It was pretty neat.
yeah, and he's still fighting to like keep himself who he is at his core. But now he's just like this superhuman, like robot, Frankie and all of his crazy gadgets and stuff, and how he was able to like keep up with all the upper guard stuff like that. And then of
You
course you have the final few members like Robin,
yeah, she used her
Demon
freaking
Child,
gigantic whatever.
and then of course Nika.
Yeah.
Haha,
uh
there's another loophole, Dan.
there you
No.
go. Uh
Yes.
I
I
think
mean,
go for it.
my pick for Wano MVP is just 100% Zoro.
Really? Okay. Because he the king of hell?
After
He,
what he did there, yeah. No, he
bro, I mean, he carried that rooftop fight for a long time. Like,
That's true.
he literally got a new sword, mastered it mid battle, and unlocked Conqueror's Haki all in like a 5 episode span. He did a lot of shit. He took down King. Like, I think Zoro is my non-Luffy MVP.
and out of everyone in the series throughout Wano, Zoro's the only person that's not Luffy that also has a top 5 fight. Might even be top 3, we'll say.
I agree. Like Zoro is like, he's my number 2 straw hat. So uh, other than Luffy, so um, I really
Luffy's
enjoyed
your number
watching
2
him.
straw hat?
No, I said outside of Luffy, that would make Luffy my number 1. Yeah, as you can see in the background, I
Where's
literally
Jinbei?
got
Oh, where's
Luffy.
Jinbei, dude?
I don't have Jinbei.
You should.
Wow. I
Zoro is
believe
my
you.
number 2 straw hat.
And
Luffy's my number 1.
I do have another MVP too that after I've had some time to digest and forget about how annoying he is, Momonosuke is up
Oh
there.
shit.
He's up there, dude. I
Okay.
mean, went from fucking crybaby to the Shogun of Wano
Yeah,
in
no,
literally like overnight,
Yeah.
and
that's a huge glow up.
massive glow up. But he's the one who moved Onigashima and saved Wano. He's the one who controlled a giant fucking elephant. Like, he did a lot of shit.
You gotta give props to Yamato too, because she
It's
stayed
just like
on his ass.
it's just like the backbone of like the whole raid.
Yep. One other shout out about Momonosuke. Kid was sly as fuck.
Bro, got to places I wish I could go.
He had fucking Sanji fuming.
He had me fuming too, dude.
uh he definitely thought he was smart.
Oh, he definitely was smart. He knew what he was doing. But then
uh,
he grew up really, really fast.
couldn't
And
do
he
that no
wasn't so
more.
smart anymore.
Yeah. Another one I would like to mention though, outside of like the straw hats and the ones that you haven't mentioned yet, or the ones you mentioned but already, is Tama. I thought Tama was like a pretty high up there on the MVP list because like, with her devil fruit, she like converted a lot of the beast pirates, to be her followers. And like her devil fruit was like the perfect power against the beast pirates. They're literally called the beast pirates for a reason. And so I thought she done like a big job, a great job of, turning the tides. As I think she did. I think she really did turn the tide of the battle like several times, just with her devil fruit. So plus, she made Luffy want to fight too. Like we had a moment with Tama about the what was it?
Red bean soup, I think it
Yeah,
was.
the red bean soup, and that really lit a fire under Luffy at one point. So shout out to Tama.
Yeah, no,
Um,
big shout out to Tama as well.
as far as like antagonist MVP, I'm gonna say Queen. Just because of his intro. I love his intro. The first time we ever met him, the
Just like the
zoom, zoom,
dancing.
zoom. Yeah, like who else has got an intro like that? You know what I mean? Nobody. Just Queen. Badass dude.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a curveball here. I'm going Orochi.
And that's a good one too.
because like Kaido was the big bad guy, but Orochi is the biggest slime ball I can think of that I've seen in anime in recent times. Like he's a fucking scumbag. He sold his entire country out to a pirate. That's fucked up. Laughed while he was doing it, like killed all the retainers he could. Like, dude is a fucking cockroach. So when it comes to being an antagonist, he was pure scum.
Freaking Conjuro was a scumbag too.
Ooh,
While we're
yes.
talking about it.
Yep. No, so I would put, for me, Conjuro is
I-
antagonist MVP number 2. Queen, I put down at like
he's
number 17.
yeah, I know that like, Queen shouldn't be up here. I just want to talk about his intro. So that's the only reason why I have
He
him up
he,
here.
he really just he's a meme machine, dude. That's what
Yeah.
Queen is.
That's
Like,
all he's good for too.
him and Sanji had some good battles, but like that's not what people kept coming back to see. They kept coming back to see King and Zoro and Luffy and
Queen
Luffy and Kaido
shenanigans.
and even like Law and Kid and Big Mom. So
Yeah.
um
As far as my antagonist MVP though, number 3, because I've already revealed number 2. Number 3 is gonna be King, because he was that opposing. But number 1, I'm gonna have to be very, very obvious with this one. It's gonna be.
It
I
is.
mean, he literally took down Luffy 3 times. This is spoiler. I mean, semi-spoiler. It's like a year old now, but like he literally took down Luffy 3 times throughout all of Wano. Luffy was done for, defeated, gone,
Dude.
and somehow came back.
Don't forget Kaido's drunken fist
Oh
earns
god,
him
yeah.
MVP alone. I don't care what else he did. That shit was hilarious.
also Cypher Poe, they some bitches. You know what I
Big
mean?
bitches.
Like
They really are.
they should be up there somewhere too, because like they chose to like sneak in at the right times. It's like, oh, well, I'm gonna go up here. I think that they're the cause of Luffy dying, wasn't
The
they?
third time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the final time they died because of Luffy, because Kaido got pissed off about it.
Yeah. No, it's Kaido hands down. I just didn't
Yeah.
want to say Kaido because it was so obvious.
Yeah, well, just like Luffy, we shouldn't pick Luffy. We shouldn't pick the big baddie. You know what I mean? So,
Well, that's
But
why I
but
said Nika as well.
yeah,
we got to give Kaido his flowers though. I
yeah.
mean, he fought
Obviously,
what?
the big baddie is gonna be the
25?
MVP.
25 characters whose names we knew back to 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 back
Oh
without
yeah,
resting. And that's the only reason he lost. Like he lost because he had been fighting for literally like 12 hours.
yeah. Luffy versus Kaido 1v1. Both of them start from fresh. There's like no way unless Luffy gets gear 5 again or whatever, and then it's still gonna be a good fight, I think, right? But I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
dude took Zoro on with, you know, Conqueror's hockey, and like he was cut by Zoro. He took Big Mom and Law and Kid on. Like he took Yamato on. Like he took everybody on. So they didn't want none.
None of these hands.
No. And they did a really good job too of just establishing like Kaido was that strong. Even though like he didn't really get any victories on his own, they definitely established he was that strong.
Strongest creature.
So I mean they did a pretty good job with that arc overall. I mean the story was just it was very winding, but they also gave us a lot of history throughout it too, which was nice. Shout out Odin.
Another one, that I feel like we need to mention as well is that old dude that taught Luffy how to do something with hockey, right?
Ryu, yeah.
In the prison
Fuck.
camp or whatever. Like
He's
he
one
looked
of the
like,
old Yakuza bosses. I
yeah,
remember
he's
that
like
much.
very short, with like one patch of hair or something like that. Remember?
black sunglasses on. I think he had like blue cloud tattoos.
You know what I'm talking about. They worked in a mine together or whatever, and he trained Luffy or whatever after Luffy got captured. Like he's up there too.
Yuguro.
Yeah,
Yes.
he helped a lot in the war too, but he helped, you know, Luffy figure out how he was gonna like go against Kaido. So,
Well,
but
cool. Is that all we got for Wano?
Yeah, I mean it's a very, very impactful, memorable arc. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you have to watch it because it's really touching and stuff like that.
yep, some of my favorite moments, like episode 10, 15, one of my favorite episodes, and I think like Zoro's episode was like 1067 or something like that. I don't know.
I remember the countdowns to Roof Piece.
But yeah, it was definitely a fun time. One of
Well,
my favorite
awesome.
arcs.
We got one more MVP for you, and it's from an arc nobody likes, but we got to talk about him. It's Long Green Long Island, and that is Afro Luffy, who is not Luffy because he's Luffy with an afro.
Yep.
Big MVP energy there.
You
The
know,
only MVP as far as like antagonist MVPs, there are none. There's literally none.
Dude, that arc is like the only arc that is 1,000% worth watching it dubbed instead of subbed because you get fucking Usopp doing the boxer announcer voice when Afro Luffy's coming out, and that shit's hilarious.
you know, if we did this arc, you know, like we was going to, I was literally gonna say Luffy's afro. Not Afro Luffy, but Luffy's afro was the MVP. And I had Sanji and Zoro as the villain MVP because they
Yeah.
literally was throwing the freaking games by fighting each other.
Oh, well,
But
awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. These guys will be back with you next week. I'm gonna be shredding the POW out in Utah. So look forward to hearing from Tyler and Nam. Linktree.com/anime Degens to find links to our Discord, YouTube, and all our other stuff. All right, guys, peace.
later.
Later.